We're here at GrappleCon, and I'm here with Bobby Fish. How are you doing today?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing so good. Have you had any memorable fan experiences so far?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of good conversation. People that come by the table have had interesting stories from Ring of Honor and NXT and like times previous in my career. So it's always nice to hear about what it was they gleaned from a personal experience. It's cool. It brings it full circle.
Not to make it too much about the old times, but I will add to it that you were my favorite member of the Undisputed Era.
Well, I appreciate that. We had a lot of fun doing the stuff that we were blessed enough to do.
You've ticked every single thing off the list for any wrestler that any wrestler could want. You've been in WWE, you've been in AEW, you've been in TNA, you've been everywhere. So what is the next thing now? Are you focusing just on, keeping your individual image, your career, meeting your fans, or are you still trying to get signed with a larger company?
At this point, I really feel like my future and my passion is like to give back and to serve. There's a generation coming up behind us that I think a lot of the things that we've taken for granted, because you're around your peers so often, you just think that like, okay, well, everyone knows A, B, and C, and not everybody does, So I think it's a tradition. It was Mick Foley, I think, that said like it's for those in the industry to give back to the ones coming behind us. And I really feel like coaching, that's kind of my niche at this point. I think I can still wrestle. I still enjoy wrestling, so like I'll do it. But I really I like to work with the younger talent and give back as much as I can.
One thing that we see in wrestling sometimes is some sort of a generational divide, where the wrestlers from the older generation are like, oh, the things were different in my day, and now I don't like A, B, and C. Yeah. Do you find yourself thinking this, like something is maybe not quite right with the new generation, or do you fully embrace it?
I embrace it. I definitely notice that it's different. It has to be different, but that's just the way things are. Everything has to progress. So it can be for better or for worse, but you have to expect it to be different. And the way that I see it nowadays is, it's not my locker room anymore. It's their locker room, and I'm a guest there, as opposed to the other way around, because those days, everything evolves, and it's the evolution of the industry in the same way that it's the evolution of your life, and you got to enjoy every part of it. So at every stage, just enjoy where you are, because looking back too much and looking forward too much, it just robs you of joy. So be present.
And you've been wrestling for many years. I know you're young. You're not like
No,
the Undertaker. You're not Stone Cold. But
according to the internet, I'm 100 years old.
Well, you look good for 100 years old.
I do for 100. Yes, thank you. I will say that.
But in your time, have you noticed the locker room culture get less toxic? Is it safer now, or is it just a myth and it's still the same?
I think it's just different. I think it always changes, and like I said, it's different. I notice. I don't want to say that I keep to myself, because I'll talk to everybody, but I am more concerned with me and then my interactions with people, and I can only control how I treat people. So I'm going to treat everyone with respect and friendly and humble, and that's, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a recipe for life more than anything else.
Sure, not just wrestling, life in general.
Yeah. I mean, we're all blessed. God has blessed us with another day, and we sometimes, and this is, I'm speaking to myself when I say this, need to be a little more grateful sometimes,
And as a coach and as someone who deals with the younger up-and-coming wrestlers, I know it's a very broad question, but if you had to pick one thing, what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's just starting out?
Learn to be present, like to literally be where your feet are. That would be my number one thing when it comes to advice, would be learn how to be present and practice getting better at being present, because there's so much to that.
It's amazing. That's such a good message. And, the future of wrestling is in good hands. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.